Alright guys, I'm here with a bit of information for Dragon Ball Legends. So we've known that this was coming for a little while now, since the latest reveals and stuff actually. But we do have a few details concerning Zenkai Super Full Power Saiyan 4 Goku, which again, I just don't understand why they just don't call him Full Power Super Saiyan 4 Goku. It makes so much more sense being said like that. But anyway, so we do know that this unit is of course getting a Zenkai Awakening, and this Zenkai will be dropping tomorrow during reset. And the official Twitter accounts gave us a bit of information about it. So it says, Super Full Power Saiyan 4 Goku's Zenkai Awakening is coming. Cancel own attribute downgrades and abnormal conditions and decrease enemy ki on ultimate hit. Plus unlock all uniques to get draw speed and damage up according to the number of timer counts elapsed. Okay, so the thing about this Goku is, in my opinion, he was not that good when he initially released. Like he was there for a little bit, but like quickly fell off, and that's an understatement. So, oh, and not only that, he was also a second year anniversary unit, so he got overshadowed by Vegito Blue. But still, this unit didn't have any time in the spotlight at all. So I'm hoping that this Zenkai will at least do him justice for two reasons. One, he'll actually be a solid unit now, which could definitely help, especially GT can use literally all the buffs that they can get. And two, if he's not good, then at least he's a bench unit for Gogeta, and that could be really good, because obviously Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta, 30th anniversary unit, he's still good to this day. But there are now other issues that would really hinder this Goku from shining. Again, for starters, canceling attribute downgrades and abnormal conditions, obviously really good. Being able to decrease enemy ki on ultimate hit, also good. Unlocking your uniques will give you card draw speed and damage up, also good. The downside is, he's a green unit in a meta with powerful purple units. That's not really going to do him any good. Like, if he gets like some sort of element neutrality, okay, sure, you can probably work around all of that. But in truth, more often than not, running this Goku is probably not going to be in your best interest. And I say that because this Goku has to go up against the likes of Broly and now Piccolo, who's also a really good purple unit. So having him go up against the likes of those units is going to be really rough, especially because you have Broly, who has blast armor just in general, and then you also have Piccolo, who has blast armor on special move and on ult. And obviously landing any of those on this Goku, having element factor advantage against this Goku, is going to be extremely painful for this unit. Now granted, like I said, GT has been getting decent buffs. We do have Super 17, who can help with Ki Blast with his cover change. We have Gogeta, which we already know how good he is. And we also have Pan. And Pan is a great Zenkai unit in general. Really strong, good support, all of that good stuff. But it's gonna be rough for this Goku to shine. Again, him being a range type right now, and being a green unit on top of that, is probably the worst case scenario. And honestly speaking, this really shouldn't be that bad for Goku, but again, there are just units that counter him, and even so, with him being a green unit, you would think that he'd be able to pull up a fight against Beast Gohan, which on the surface, yes, because of element factor advantage and whatnot, but that unit is able to go element neutral as well, and he's extremely powerful to the point where he can attack green units and not really have to care about element factor. I mean, it's safe to say that we've all seen what that Gohan is capable of by now. Like, at this point, we know what he can do, and green units do not scare that unit at all. Oh, and also, if this Goku doesn't have, my brain kind of died. If this unit doesn't have like endurance nullification, then that's really not gonna matter. Because Gohan, obviously if the opponent pops Rise of Rush, gets endurance, and if he can't nullify that, that means that on a GT team, you only have one unit, one effective unit, I should say. Well, unless if you have the unique equipment, then I guess in technicality two, but for the most like scenarios, you really have one, which would be Gogeta. Again, the second unit would be the Super Saiyan 4 Goku, the LF one, but most cases, you're gonna have one effective unit, and that's not really going to help much. especially because you have other units that you can swap into, especially if you're running Sagas from the movies. You have Broly and you have Piccolo that you can swap into. So there's a lot kind of riding on this Goku and his performance. And in truth, I mean, well, part of it is his fault because, again, when he released, I don't think he was that good of a unit. Like, again, he stayed in the meta for a little bit, but I really don't think he was like that like crazy. But now there are units that counter him and units that can endure being in battle against him, like Gohan, for example. So this unit has a lot that they have to do in order to actually be viable in a sense. And I'm hoping that just in a general retrospect, they just make him a good unit. Again, I already gave the example of, like, you know, whether he's good or like being a bench unit for Gogeta, but seeing how well they did Pan, and I'm talking about they did Pan phenomenally. Seeing how well they did Pan, I'm hoping that they do the same with this Goku, because in truth, like, I'm kind of past the point of Zenkai units like being all over the place, right? Like, there was a point when Zenkai units were so snapped that you really wouldn't want to go for LF units, and then there was the point where Zenkai units were so bad that there was no reason to really get them except for Zenkai boosting units. And now we found that good sweet spot again. I would say especially with Pan. So I'm hoping that we finally got past the point where they're always constantly fluctuating, and we just get to the point where they're viable. They're not snapped, they're not bad, they're just viable, like Pan. Like, although Pan's really good, but again, I digress. You guys get my point. So yeah, I really don't know how else this is really gonna work. Like, I guess if you don't run them on GT, you can run them on Saiyan, and that would probably be a bit of a safer team as well, because again, with GT, the main units you have are Gogeta, Super 17, I would say the LF, Super Saiyan 4 Goku, and Pan. Those would be your units, so you would throw this one on top of there. But GT really does not have an effective, they don't have an effective purple unit at all, and I don't believe they have an effective red unit. So they're missing some element factors. So I think if you're going to be using this Goku, depending on what his Zenkai buffs, which more than likely is probably going to be like green and Saiyan, it's either green or Saiyan or green and GT, because there's no way in the world it would be green and Super Saiyan 4. Like, that would actually be insane. Like, Saiyan is a broader buff. Even GT as a tag is a broader buff. But still, yeah, depending on what he buffs for his Zenkai will also determine, like, which teams to try to put him on. But all in all, it's going to be interesting to see how all this plays out. I just hope that this unit is good, because I want him to be like an option for those who don't have Gogeta. But only time will tell. All in all, though, we are still getting the Zenkai Awakening for Super Full Power Saiyan 4 Goku. I actually almost got tongue-tied saying that. And it should be coming during the next resets. But I do want to know in the comment section below, what are your thoughts on this Goku finally getting a Zenkai Awakening? Do you think it's the perfect time, for example, because of like Gohan Beast? Or do you think it's too little too late? Again, let me know in the comment section below. But with that being said, I'm Ndukauba, like, share, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video.